hi.
Hello.
I love it that we're here. We're at Stacey's house and on the couch, and I've just met you, but I can tell that you're just
bring it in if you want.
Oh, here we are.
Love that.
Ruth, hi, and Jess, thank you for coming, babe.
No
I love
worries.
you. You're an amazing friend, and you guys already know each other.
Yes.
And now I know both of you.
Good.
And Ruth, you have an awesome story about learning to be more positive with speaking life over your body and yourself, and we'll hear lots about your story. I don't know too much, but I kind of wanted to leave it like that so we could all be part of it together.
Okay.
Do you just want to jump straight in and tell us a little about your story?
Cool. So I am 36, if that just gives people
You
sometimes.
36.
Oh, thank you. So when I was younger, like through my teens and just childhood, but then definitely my teens and going into my early 20s, I just felt rubbish, like a lot of the time. Like I spoke so much negativity.
Wow.
It's actually so heartbreaking even thinking back to the things that I'd say over myself and to myself and about myself. I just used to speak just yuck crapness over myself all the time. I'd see myself in the mirror and I'd be like, oh, you're yuck, or you're really chubby, or you're all like just negative over myself. And then I think that I just got to a point, and I actually remember the point. I remember looking in the mirror and just being like, I need to have a line. I need to have a moment where I say no more.
Wow.
And then that was my time of looking at stuff. And like obviously there's tears, there's so many feelings involved in that time as I looked at myself and I said that. But that was such a lovely line in the sand, such a lovely watershed moment that I thought, no more will I think like that. And then it started a journey. So you can have that moment, but then it doesn't instantly change like a thought pattern that has gone so deep. So then began my journey of changing my thought pattern and my belief about myself. Until today. Wow. I've almost swung too far the other way and I'm a bit up myself.
I actually said to you today, I go, you look great. You're like, I know. But that is,
Sounds like you.
Well, it does sound like me actually. But yeah, it does sound like me. But also, I do have moments of being so incredibly negative over myself. And it's horrible to feel like that because we're literally ourselves for our whole life. It ain't changing, honey. So, I mean, you can,
I feel so deeply about that, like that we all have moments, so no one is alone with the fact that they feel like that about themselves. That's not an alone thing. Every single person can feel like that, but then everyone has got the opportunity to practice same positivity over themselves every day, same positive things, same lovely things, and just acknowledging what you are instead of what you're not.
wow.
I think that's a really big thing. Like, what's the point of acknowledging what you're not? Like, that doesn't achieve anything. It doesn't get you any further.
That's cool.
It just gets you deeper into into a yucky vibe. Whereas if you acknowledge what you are and what you can be and all that kind of hope and lovely stuff over yourself, then that's when I feel like you get some traction and you start moving forward.
Oh, so awesome.
And Ruth, do you know what it was that really triggered your like body negativity?
That's a good one.
Do you know what? I think that it would come down to, like, comparison can be either the maker or the breaker of joy, always, with everything in life. And I think that you can choose which way you see, you take comparison. So with me, like, if I'm comparing myself against all my cute little friends at the time, so little,
petite,
like little friends, I'm like a tiny, or or looking at all their rad clothes, or just looking at all of their little points that I love, and taking all of their points and just being like, I want each and every one of that for me. I'm going to just compare myself to all that. Or, you can compare yourself to other things and just feel so damn lucky all the time. Yeah. So at that time, and I'm young I was young at the time as well.
So young, honey.
Oh, yes.
You got it, girl.
Yes. So when I was really young and as a teenager and stuff like that, like, I didn't have the mind space yet to think about what I was comparing myself to.
Wow,
And we didn't have so much social media and stuff back then.
Yeah.
But I did have like Dolly magazine and all those
Oh
kind of
my
things.
gosh,
that
that
I
bit where
flipped
you
through.
rip and then it
The seal section.
I love the seal section.
Oh, and in the supermarket sometimes it was already ripped. It's like people just want in just to like check it out. Oh, Dolly, yes,
Dolly and
Stopped
Girlfriend
all of those.
magazine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it went under, sorry.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Some of the stuff in there was out of control. What would you say to someone who is watching right now and really struggling with body image and just being just so crap towards speaking life over themselves?
Man, I've got so much stuff to say to them.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, I see you.
Wow.
And I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And when you're in that moment, you feel like there is kind of like there's no different way of thinking, you know, like you think, how can I ever get to a point where I think differently about myself?
So narrow-minded, hey?
So narrow-minded, and it's just like this lovely little like cloud that can go over you. But man, I want to tell you that you have got a sound mind, and that it is filled with love.
Yes, good.
And that if you practice all the time these new ways of thinking, you can get to that point. But it's crazy to think that we can just have like a moment overnight. Like I said, when I looked in the mirror.
How old do you think you were when you had that moment?
Maybe 16, 17.
Wow.
17.
And was it just like an intentional shift?
Yeah. It was an intentional moment that I remember, and I remember the mirror and everything like that.
Yeah.
Of just saying like, no more.
Wow.
No more will I
Wow.
think about that.
Wow.
No more will I think about my generations to come and think
Yes.
about like this is what I'm going to be carrying on as my legacy to them. Like you
Yeah.
have to put a line in the sand sometime and just say no more.
Yes.
And then that's beautiful to have that moment, and then it's intentional practice.
Yes.
Because anything that you do, practice makes better, right?
100%.
So like so every single day practicing, and there's so many different things that I have done and I continue to do now, even at the ripe old age of 36.
Ripe old age.
Ripe old age. That I continue to practice every single day, and I replace any kind of negative thoughts, and I replace with a positive.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good. Any negative thoughts you replace with a positive.
Always.
That's
So simple, but so hard in moments.
So hard to do.
But also, sometimes we just overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple. Okay, I've just been so negative about myself. Actually, one thing I love is this, but if they can't find something to love, it's learning those things. Or what does somebody else say they love about you? And just start saying that over yourself until one day you say it and you're like, all right, it's sunk in.
100%.
That kind of that reminds me of one of the things that I like try and say. I practice myself, and I try and say for other people to do as well. Is that if someone gives you a compliment, they mean that about you. That's a positive thing about yourself. And so often in our Kiwi culture, but in like girls in general, just people in general, I'm not sure what it is. We get their compliment and we throw it back in their face.
Yes.
We either say, no, I'm not.
Yes.
Or,
the Kiwi
no,
thing
you
for sure.
are.
Yeah, or we get it and then we replace it with we say out loud like a negative thing about ourselves. So they'll be like, cute dress, and you'll be like, oh, it's a bit old. You know, like we replace it with like a negative thing all the time. But if someone is saying that about you, they genuinely feel it. When I give someone a compliment, I genuinely mean it. I'm not a liar. Like I will mean that, and I will say that over them. And then so for someone to get that compliment and throw it back in your face, it's a little bit offensive, like it's not truth, you know. So
And how often do we think a compliment and don't speak it out? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, speak them out. Speak them over anyone.
Especially
like,
with
let's be
girls.
so irrationally generous with our compliments to other people.
And someone else's beauty is not the absence of your own.
Always. Great. Oh, I want to get that on a bumper sticker.
Yeah, same, me too. Should I get that tattooed on?
You should.
Right now.
Number 21.
Yeah,
Number 21.
And 21. And Ruth, speaking of, you touched on before on social media, like I suppose when you were 16 that wasn't a thing, and now we're just plagued with it, so it's so easy to jump on and just compare yourself day after day. So on the opposite of that, do you have anyone, I don't know what your engagement is on social media, but do you have anyone that you follow that really inspires you?
Yeah, I've got a lot of people that I unfollow.
That's healthy as well. That's good.
I think that has to be mentioned. If you've got something on your
not one of
social
them.
media,
We follow
I
each
follow
other.
you. No, I follow you, and then I zoom in on some of your pictures because I'm that into them. I'm like,
Oh, I know.
zoom.
That's good. I always say no one's going to notice that they don't zoom. I always say that to people, but here we are.
Zoom in.
I know.
But I'm like fanning to flame everything. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yes, girl.
So
like,
good.
it's just beautiful, confident,
see,
great.
it's funny you say that, and we're going to come back to the people who inspire you, but it's funny that you say that you're able to say that you love my photos, so you zoom in. It's like you're secure and loving who you are and what you've got going on, that you're actually able to love what somebody else is doing. And we're so quick to be like, oh, they're just showing all the highlights of their life, or they're just showing this. But it's like, let them show the good moments. Just
100%.
let them, and be okay to know that they have tough moments, but you can still be like happy for their awesome moment. And it's not up to you to decide whether, you know, that's fake or not. You just,
Yeah, we have like a mantra in our household. I've got like a gorge husband and then 3 beautiful little kitties.
Divine.
And a mantra in our house is being, can we be happy for other people, not sad for ourselves? And I have to say it.
Wow.
I say it over my kids lots because, you know, as we're just trying to lead them and stuff. But every time I say that, I'm like, Rose, listen. Because, you know, I think that it's about time that we start being so happy for other people, not just seeing that as a button for us and then being sad for ourselves. We can fan to flame so many other gorge women around, so many gorge men around, so many gorge kitties, everything like that. Just be like, great, good.
Yeah.
and it's actually freeing to be like that when you actually can sincerely be happy for somebody else and not be caught up in the that could have been me, why does she have that, or why does he have that, or why that space, and you let that go and just be like, that's awesome for them. It's actually like a release that lifts off you after a while, and it's so much nicer to be able to just be happy for someone and forget about all the complications in between your knots.
Yeah, and speaking life over people.
Yeah,
That's one
so
big
amazing.
thing that when I was a teenager, my youth pastor was really big on. Like, if you feel, especially as girls, we compare ourselves so quickly. Even our best friends, we can be so competitive in those relationships. And when you feel comparison come up, actually just to encourage. And when you encourage, somehow it kills comparison. And it's speaking those words of life.
I love it. Okay, so who's someone that inspires you on social?
All of my friends.
That's great.
I love those friends, and I have that that closeness with them as well. That I'm just like, man, I've just got some banging friends. Like they're just so wonderful inside and out. And
Stace is behind the camera, everybody, and she is honestly a hero. She's one of them.
I love her so much. And so every time like I see them post, I know who they are, and I'm like, my friends and my family inspire me on a deep basis, like deep daily basis, that I'm just like, yes, you're wonderful, you're strong, and you're lovely. I do love, I've got a few prepared.
Good, I love
But to be honest, when I was trying to do this, I was laughing because I just follow a lot of funny meme accounts.
Good, so that's what you feel great.
But I know it's about positive body image, but I just feel like I would love to mention, just keep things light. And if you would like,
that's good.
just keep some funny stuff on your social media, because it makes things so light. And then when you laugh and you feel that joy, then there's something that shifts inside of you that makes you more positive.
I love that.
So I've got a lot of funny. So Pablo Rochat is like,
oh my god, he's a llama with glasses.
He's a llama with glasses in his photo. Like, that is a lot. He does really clever stuff on his computer to make funny. He makes like pigeons wear sunglasses and like, do you know what, that kind of stuff. I'm like, pigeon wearing sunglasses.
I love it. It's because it can be so heavy life, eh? Oh,
yeah,
good. I love it.
It can be so heavy. And then I really like just, I have a lot of diversity on my account, and I do that on purpose.
Say it.
I love Lizzo.
Oh, she's
Lizzo's
great.
Her twerking online. I'm like, get it, girl.
I love it.
Yeah, so I do all sorts of different stuff. That chick, was it Emily Clark? Just because her cute little face with her like little grin, she's so beauty.
Yes.
And then I need a new phone.
That's a cool photo. You guys can't see what we're looking at, but she's got some funny things.
So on that was a photo that my daughter drew of us, and she's just like, Mum, this is us, and she drew us both in our bikinis with me eating an ice cream.
How good.
And I was just like, that's me. That's me. She really nailed me.
Aw.
This guy is just like an incredible carver. So he carves avocados.
Oh, what's his name?
His name is Gaku Carving.
Carves
Gaku.
avocados.
And he carves avocados, he carves fruit, he carves broccoli. And his intricacy.
I love it. If we want to escape in life, we can just go follow these guys, eh?
Yeah. So this is the kind of stuff I'm not just
Yeah.
like, and I do love lots of different body stuff like Brie,
Yeah.
Tomisel.
Yeah.
Depends how you
She's
say
still
it.
on TikTok.
Yeah,
Do you
she's
TikTok?
no.
Oh, she's funny as on there.
Yeah, she's a real lol. So and then Hamish Blake, Chris Parker, Jonathan Van Ness, like because he's so positive about things
I
each
love
time.
it.
It's really inspiring. Chrissy Teigen, I love.
Yeah, she's real.
I really love some bakeries because I'm like
Yeah.
heavy into the food. I'm like I see those salads that they make and I'm like yes and amen.
Yeah.
And I just love me like a good focaccia.
Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
so do I.
Oh, and that's me looking cute. So I just like took
So
the
cute.
I took that photo on the way here, like a little
Just like,
selfie, and I sent it through to
good.
my husband. And then I just said, my only worry is that people won't believe that I've had a bad body image complex because I look so cute.
Oh, that is brilliant.
So you
The only concern.
No one's going to believe me.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so you've gone on this journey. You've got 3 babies. What are their names?
So Ada is almost 9.
Oh, beautiful.
Ada Ruthie is her name. And then I've got Patch. He is...
Wow, I love it.
What a cool name.
So
Patch.
much.
He's beautiful,
Name ideas,
beautiful boy.
guys.
Patch Moses Jake Mclean, and he is 7.
Wow.
And then I've got Manny Ihaya, and he's so beautiful
Oh my
and
gosh.
so naughty. So annoying and so beautiful. He's 3, so like it's that kind of age that he's like, yes.
Oh,
I love it.
But Adelaide's like that, my youngest. Okay, so what are some things that we can do better so that the next generation loves themselves more than we've been taught to love ourselves? Like, what are things that some people can take away that just doesn't need to be complicated that we can do for the next generation?
This is a great question. I think practice.
Yeah.
Don't be expecting to just be good at it overnight. It takes
Yeah.
years to rework those little pathways in your brain that you have always thought, those like deep grooves that you make of like that speaking negativity.
Yeah.
It takes then a long time for you to go on a different track and have that as your natural progression to be able to think like that. So start the journey, have your moment, have your watershed moment of like, that is enough. But for the future generation, like in front of my kids and in front of my family, in front of anyone, I will always speak positivity over myself. I will speak it to myself in the mirror. I hope that they hear it. I will look in the mirror and then I will say, you gorgeous old chook, or like, look at those really thick ankles, I bet you never roll those, you know, like you can like, look at my strong rotund thighs, like they're so beautiful and they carry me for so many good runs. And
Thick thighs save lives.
yes.
It's a good mantra. Get that tattooed as well.
Okay, I'll get that. I've got a couple
22,
of things. Yeah,
22
done. My mum's watching this like.
Mum.
Yeah, okay, so, and do
Practice.
Yeah, and do you say anything, little things to your kids?
Always.
Yeah.
I always tell them about what they are. I just speak it over them again and again. I'm like, you're beautiful, you are kind, you are lovely. That was so thoughtful.
Wow.
Just speak all the things that they are over them. I'll comment. I don't like ignore the whole body thing. Like I'll be like, man, you've got such strong legs. I can't believe you're just skateboarding up there. You're so awesome. Like, and I'll pick out something positive, but I don't. They're still little, so I don't like stay on it for a long time. But I will always bring out all their beautiful qualities, and I make sure they constantly hear me talking goodness about myself.
Oh, that's so important.
Because they will go on and they will be what they see as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I try and always speak that over myself.
Yeah.
And I think that it takes a while to get these things going out into the future generations.
Yeah.
But now is our time to just say, it's our time to love ourselves and to find a new way of thinking. And do you know what? Every time, like I'll hear them, like at home, I'll be getting ready to go somewhere, and then I'll just be like, "Oh my goodness!" And then everyone will be like, "What?" And I'll be like, I look so cute. I was like, it's ridiculous, look amazing, come and look. And I'll like get in, the kids will run in and Jake will be like, there we go.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But like I gotta speak it out,
Yeah,
like, because it is
totally.
true. And then like Jake, my beautiful husband, he is like, he's a good looking man, but he will see me. So I always make sure that I talk so positively about myself to him as well.
Yeah.
He knows my weak points as well. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like in la la land.
Yeah.
But I will speak that over myself in front of him, and I will call it out when I'm looking so cute. And because he will see what I speak out as well.
Yeah.
So if someone's looking in the mirror and just being like, I'm this, all these kind of negative things, that is what people will see.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're right.
That is what my
That's
husband will
amazing.
see if I keep saying that. But if I keep just being like, oh my gosh, I have got like the cutest lips, or like I am so strong, you should have seen how well I ran then, it was really
Yeah.
great, or like, hey, I'm looking so banging going out with the girls, I'm
better
super
watch
cute.
out,
Yeah,
You'll see
totally.
that.
And he'd be like, stay home, and I'll be like, not a chance in hell, but maybe later.
I love it. And speaking of like speaking out, what would you say to someone who's, let's say someone had a best friend that was really struggling with body image? How would you deal with that? What would you say to that person?
I reckon have that chat when you're walking somewhere, and even just bring it up, just be like, hey, I've noticed that this is how you speak about yourself, and I just want to let you know that, gosh, I do not see you that way at all. This is how I see you, and you can name it off, and you let that person be ready to want to chat. And if they'll mull that over for a long time, that'll be in their head. And let's encourage watershed moments, or those like line in the sand moments for other people to say no more. But just always speak that over them. And sometimes it's doing that intentional of like, I see you, I notice that you speak like that. And this is how I see you, because then almost like that halts. It's not just a compliment, it's paired with, but I see how you're talking about yourself as well. And maybe that'll be a moment that'll turn into, hey, we could change this. And
and if it comes from a place of love as well, that's the most important thing.
always, and it's not empty then, it's not just one line just being like, you got a nice face, like, like it's something deep and something really lovely that's heartfelt, and that you have that connection there, which is good.
Because that can be the hardest when someone you love, they don't see them how you see them.
And you can get also just so you want to give up and even helping them, because you're like, oh, I've said it so many times,
it's
like when you're going to
exhausting.
get it, it can be exhausting. But if you just stay the path and keep it simple and just speak encouragement over them, one day they'll wake up and it might click for them.
And if everybody makes the most of what they have, everybody is beautiful.
So
And a good little mantra as well, instead of like just keeping that good friendness there and doing all those kind of lovely things, and also recognizing as well, just be like, their response is their responsibility, my response is my responsibility.
That's great.
I will keep doing me, and then hopefully that will then in turn rub off on them. But at the end of the day, they need to get that to that themselves, and you're not in control of that. So to kind of like wash your hands of that a tiny bit, just be like, I will speak everything that I see over them, but it is not my responsibility to change the way that they think about themselves. That'll ultimately come down to them.
That's good.
that's good to carry.
So
we acknowledge here that we just don't do journeys alone, and we need people, like we're just speaking about, people encouraging and being alongside us in your journey of loving yourself so much and how you're designed and created to be. Is there someone that you would like to thank? Well, hopefully there is. Actually, there has to be, because this is part of it. So if there's not, think of it really fast. Just make someone up, I'm kidding. And we're going to look into this camera and you're going to thank them.
okay,
And I've got my hand on you while you do it.
So I look super cute, so they really know. Ruth Mclean, i.e. myself, I would like to thank you for having such a strong mind and an awesome heart and a beautiful bod and everything that goes into it, because I see you in the mirror and I see how fantastic you are, and I just want to thank myself here on the camera for just being wonderful and just knowing that I've got a beautiful sound mind, and I know that I've got an awesome body, and I know that I've got fantastic insides. And you know what? Bodies come and bodies go, but my fantastic personality will last me to my deathbed. Yes and amen.
Amen.
And there you have it. That is all that we need to do. Okay, should we hug it out? Let's hug it out.
Cuddle.
Oh,
yes.